Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. We're going to be thinking about maths now. So obviously you've been working really hard at your money work lately. I know those of you that I've seen in class have been doing really well on this. I know lots of you at home have been working really hard on it as well. I've had lots of great emails about the work that you've been doing. So today, let's start off then just with a bit of a recap of some things which we've learned previously, which might just be helpful for the lesson coming up. So firstly then, have a quick go at this. Pause the video here and come back to me when you are done. So how much money does Ron have then? So we could have counted up in 20. So we've got 20, 40, 60, 80, and then another 20 here. So 90 and 100. So we've got 100 pence there. How do we write that? Or what else could we call that? That's going to be really crucial for today, actually. We've got there £1. If you've written 100 pence, that's fine too. Which sets of coin total 50p? Well, again, I'm going to count up here 20, 40, 50. So yes. B, we've got 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 or £1. So not B. Here we've got 20, 30, 40, 50. So C, yes. And for D here, 20, 40, and then 45, 50. So yes, D does. And for our part whole models, we've got several ways here of representing kind of groups that make 100. So we've got 50 plus something else totals 100. So this one's going to be 50 as well. Next over, we've got 100 made up of 50 and 30 and something else. Well, 50 and 30 is 80. If I take 80 away from 100, I've got 20 left. There's 20 there. And our final one as well, we've got 100 made up of 50, 45, and one other thing. 50 and 45 is 95. 100 take away 95 is 5. That's what we've got left over. Okay, today we're going to be thinking mainly about converting between pounds and pence. Now, I think this is something that particularly adults have grown really adept at, and you can do really quickly in your head. And we want to try to get ourselves to that level where we can just really quickly convert between pounds and pence and sort of know what our total is, whether it gives us it in pounds or pence. So let's start off really in the most basic way we can. And this is the key fact which actually brings the whole thing together. If we know this key fact, we can use and kind of apply that to any other question we get, and we can kind of use this as an anchor point to help us with any other question converting between pounds and pence. So hopefully you know this one already. We've certainly spent a lot of last week talking about this one. It's 100 pence is equal to £1. And if we know that 100p or 100 pence is equal to £1, that's going to really help us with any other question we encounter. So if we know that 100p is £1, how many pence is £2? I think we'll do these ones verbally. So while I'm reading these out, maybe say your answer out loud. So we know that 100 pence is £1, so is £2. It's 200 pence there. Likewise, if it's 100 pence is £1, 200 pence is £2, then £5 is how many pence? It's 500 there. Okay, a little bit trickier when we move on to two-digit numbers like this. But again, I would encourage you to think back to some of those ones we've just done. So if I know, for example, that 200 pence, again, apologies for the poor penmanship here, 200 pence is what? £2. We can use this to help us, can't we? If we know that 200 pence is £2, we can use this to see what's happened. Now, what's the difference between £2 and £20? Or what do we need to multiply 2 by to make it 20? Well, we can see that 0 on the end there. It's multiplied by 10. So this one at the bottom is going to be 10 times bigger. And we know that when something is 10 times bigger, you might say we can add a 0 on the end, or we can times it by 10. So what's 200 times by 10? Or in this case, 200 with a 0 on the end. It's going to be 2,000. So 2,000 pence is £20. Okay, so again, this is going to help us. 2,000 pence is £20. Sometimes we'll get a mix of pounds and pence. So things like this, £1.20, that's a really common way for money to be represented, particularly if you buy something in a shop. It's very often shown like this. It won't be, or unlikely to be, just one or the other. Usually you'll get a mix of pounds and pence. So with this one, you might actually sort of partition this a little bit. You might say, well, the £1 element I know is 100 pence. And the pence bit, really helpfully, of course, is already pence for us. So it's going to be 120. So we can say 120 pence there. So sometimes you might need to do a bit of kind of mixed conversion there if we've got some pounds and some pence. Same sort of thing here then. We know £2 is worth what? That's right, 200 pence. We've got the 40 pence already there, so it's 200 plus 40, that's 240. Hopefully you're following along and keeping up with these and saying them out loud with me. Same sort of thing again here then, so you can partition this. We've got the £6, which is worth, 600 pence, and the 60 pence here, so it's 660. And you can notice while we're doing this, of course, the digits are very similar, if not exactly the same when we do this. Our digits are going to remain really, really similar. It's the where the decimal point is and sort of removing our pound symbol and things like that. So 660 in this case. Sometimes we'll get it the other way around. So we already know that 100 pence is £1. So 400 pence is, £4. 450 pence. Have a think about that one, maybe write it down. For 450, well, I might partition this then as my hundreds and my tens. So I might think of this as 400 and then 50 as well. So I'm partitioning that into hundreds and tens because I know hundreds I can really easily convert into pounds. So my 400 pence, that's worth £4. And then I've got the 50p left over. So I write £4 and then it's a dot and then the 50. Oh, sorry there. That's no good. £4.50. You get the idea. So it's awfully slow on the laptop, isn't it? Okay, 690 pence. So same sort of formula then. We could partition that into 690. 600 pence is worth £6. 90 pence, that's what's left over. So £6.90 for that one. Pause the video here and complete these ones. I've deliberately made these ones a little bit trickier now. Hopefully you've been following along and sort of keeping pace. These ones are a little bit trickier now. So have a go at these ones and come back to me when you're done. Okay, let's fill these ones in together then. So we've got £4.50 there. We've got £2.30. We've got £1.85. We have £42.30. And over here we've got 850p, 460p, 172p, and 1320p. Okay, hopefully you kept up with those and you managed to get those right on your board as well. Okay, so your main task for today then, you are going to be given something split into 4 like this, and it's up to you to fill in the remaining 3 based on the one that you have been given. So all 4 sections need to be equal, and it's up to you to write the same thing on all 4 sections. So we've been given one of the sections in this case. We've been given £1.50, and it's going to be up to us to write in what else we know. So £1.50, we can do the conversion here and turn that into pence, can't we? We already know from our earlier work that's 150p. We're also going to write it in words. Now, it's up to you whether you do the pounds or the pence here, it doesn't really matter. So you would write £1, and 50 pence. Oops. And you'd also draw this in coins. So same as last week, your drawings don't need to be super accurate, but they do need to be real UK coins. So I couldn't, for example, this is what you're not going to do. I couldn't do £1.50 as one big mega coin here because obviously we know there isn't a UK coin that's worth £1.50. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, we're going to make this up using the real UK coins. So you can do this in whatever way you want. I'm just going to do it the quickest way possible. So I'm going to do a £1 and a 50p. But actually, there are other ways of doing it. And however you want to write it in, you could do. So I could have done a £1 and a 50p like that. If I'd wanted to, I could have drawn a 10p piece and then written times 15. If I've got 15 10p pieces, that would be another way to make that money. Let's have a practice of one of these together now. So here's another one, and this is a little bit of a tricky one as well, because actually, how are you going to write this in pounds? Have a think about this one. Pause the video and try to complete that grid, making 70 pence or the equivalent to it in all 4 sections. Pause the video here and come back when you're done. Okay, so £4 here. How many pounds have we got? Well, we don't have any yet. We know we've got to have 100 to reach £1, so it would be £0 and 70 pence. If it was in a shop, chances are it'd be written like that. For words, we can write 70 pence. And for coins, again, there's a couple of different ways, well, loads of different ways I can do this in fact, but I'm going to do it just as quick as possible. So I'm going to do a 50 and a 20. That's going to be my choice for this. But again, I could have written 20, 20, 10. That would have worked. I could have written 1p times 70 if I'd wanted to. That would have worked as well. I'm just going to do it nice and quickly. I'm going to do a 50 and a 20. Okay, hopefully you get the idea. So for today, you're going to be having a go at this on your on the pages that you've got in front of you. Here are some of the tasks. I've got 3 pages worth of these, so do as many of them as you can. And you're, as always, given one of the boxes and you need to fill in the rest of the grid. So just to be clear, there's 4 different grids there. So do the one in the top left-hand corner, then the top one in the top right-hand corner, and so on. Try and complete as many of these as you can. So I'll flick through our 3 slides of these, pause as you go, and try to complete as many as you can. Here's your first one. Here's the second. And here's the third. Okay, thanks everybody. Hopefully you've been finding that okay today. Hopefully you've been keeping up with that. And hopefully by now you're feeling really confident with converting between pounds and pence. Tomorrow we're going to use this skill in some problem solving questions. So we'll use this in a little bit more detail tomorrow. Thanks everyone. Have a good rest of your morning and I'll see you back here later on for PSHE.